Hello, everyone, and welcome back to JaianMusic Notes. Today on the podcast, I am so excited because we are continuing our conversation about the nostalgic music of Pokemon for the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance. On the last episode, Hotshot Ginger and I went right into Generation 1 and 2 and the impact it's had on us, and we're going to continue that. But before we get into all of that, Hotshot, how you been, bro?
Doing all right. More Pokemon, so, good mood. But let's see how quickly Jaian can throw that in my face.
I will throw this in your face. This podcast is sponsored by Lisa Audio Technologies. If you're a composer, a producer, they offer awesome plugins, creative effects plugins to elevate your music. And if you're a listener of JaianMusic Notes, use code JaianMusic to get 30% off your purchase. Every dollar generated from that code goes straight back into the show, such as GoPro Keo, who does all of the artwork. All of his links are in the description. All right, Hotshot, let's get into Generation 3. At this point, we're kind of still a little bit in the chiptune world, the 8-bit world, but the Game Boy Advance has, obviously much more powerful sound capabilities. We're not limited to 4 tracks of audio. We're even using, sampled instruments, more instruments, drum programming, echo effects, more spacious arrangements, and I feel like we are talking about is this controversial, Hotshot? What I'm about to say, a cleaner music? Do you see what I mean?
It's not controversial because it's that's just how the evolution of technology works. We had very limited ability with the classic Game Boy, but now with the Game Boy Advance, with technology advancing, it makes sense that things are going to sound cleaner, that things are going to sound newer because they are. I'm never gonna say that 8-bit and the classic Naruto, the classic Pokemon soundtracks are bad. I'm never gonna say that, but
no.
But it sounds newer, I guess, would be the safest way to say it.
I see what you mean. Absolutely. For me, I listen to songs like Route 113, and that I love what I was getting from that track because it just had a little bit of percussion, a little bit of lead, and just it just felt like a musical jungle that was sectioned interestingly and not just appreciated for its loopability. It's appreciated for its musical complexity, its development. The theme comes in and out, and there are bars that kind of fit in between all of that just structure the song into a piece of music and not just a loop of music. What I guess the point I'm trying to make is when you listen to some of these songs, can we both agree it's more than just a loop at this point?
Oh, it's definitely more than just a loop at this point. With most of it, it is definitely more than just a loop.
Yeah. It's something that's more developed and more complex. And then the other thing I want to mention about the music for the Generation 3 is that okay, this is gonna maybe be controversial again. To me, this does not sound like Game Boy music. Do you see what I mean? It doesn't feel like it's coming out of a Game Boy for me. It's just too orchestral to just be a Game Boy game. It's it's less technological, it's more liberated, it feels more human because we're not just doing the little chip sounds. But maybe I'm too attached to the Generation 1 music. Did you have similar feelings?
Honestly, yeah, because I know I was just going over that technology is about advancing, so that's why it sounds different. But it's still, at the end of the day, it's still coming from a handheld device, which is kind of mind-boggling at certain times. There are certain ones where it's where it's very, I can understand that this is still coming from a high-end device, but when it's an important battle like a gym battle or the champion fight or anything like that, something where they go above and beyond with the orchestral, then it starts getting hard to believe that it's all on a Game Boy
Right.
still.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's like, it doesn't feel like Game Boy to me. It feels like it's like almost like a lo-fi playlist. I guess like they kind of fit. And then like maybe like moving away from Gen 3 a little bit here, the world building of Pokemon. I just like have so many little iconic sounds I want to talk about. Like, what are some, like, for me, like when the Pokeball wiggles, like when you're trying to catch it and you're like, ba-dum, 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 and you're like, please, this is a Master Ball, it should hit. Do you have like sound effects or like world building sounds that, outside of the music here, like really on the sound design front, that you were like, that will always stick with you, like as a core memory?
Yeah, honestly, and I know we talked about this last episode a little bit, but it goes back to the Pokemon Center. Like hearing the click, 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 click.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Like hearing that, like hearing your team getting healed. The sound of the healing machine has always been iconic to me. The sound of the Pokeball wiggling and finally clicking shut has always been iconic to me.
Yes. Clicking, so satisfying.
Yeah, until they burst out, and then you just hate everything in life. That is why so many of us have trust issues, because the damn ball wiggles 3 times, and then it still pops out, and then you throw your Game Boy halfway across the room.
Don't worry about that part.
Or God forbid if it happens to a shiny and it was your last Pokeball. That's just heartbreaking.
No, I understand what you mean. Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Completely random, not even music related?
Yeah.
Were you the type of player like me who would like heal their Pokemon like 6 times in a row just to make sure?
I often would do twice, yeah. Like
I would heal like 3-4 times for something.
I think a big part of that is something my sister instilled in me a long time ago, because whenever she plays a game, she always saves twice. Like even though everyone in the room just saw her save, she will go back and resave. So like every time, like growing up especially, I would save twice. I would heal my Pokemon twice. You can't heal twice like with a potion, because once they're max health, it doesn't allow you to heal anymore. But
right.
Like anything you could do twice, I would. But I would only do it 2 times. I wouldn't go past that. Unless I was just mashing the heck out of the speech button, because if you mash talk fast enough at Nurse Joy, she will take your Pokemon without your consent anyway.
No, absolutely. There's also like the relief you got from that cue that you were talking about, and then like the Pokemon had their own like cries. Obviously, like that's another part of the world, or like caves always having like unsettling noises, and the surf music always like bringing up the mood.
So the cries,
I guess that like.
Sorry to cut you off. The cries to me have never really hit so strongly. I think it's just because like I was more exposed to the anime when it came to that kind of stuff, so I was more exposed to them saying their names. Because even though I did get a chance to play Red, I never fully beat it. I never played Silver. I didn't get to play Ruby and Sapphire until way later. So, like, going in early, my biggest exposure to Pokemon in general was the anime. So I was way more used to the Pokemon saying their names. But that's fair. But eventually I did get to go back and play the older games. I got to play the newer gen, which got me inspired to go back and play all the ones that I missed. Like, as much as I love Pokemon, I didn't actually start going full hog into it until, like, I want to say 2018, 2019 maybe. But I've gone full into it at this point, because the sad thing is, since I couldn't get the games or anything like that, I didn't really get the chance to officially grow up with it. I just grew up with it by proxy. But now that I'm an irresponsible adult with money, now I can go back and get all the Pokemon stuff I missed.
You got everything you need, bro.
No, I need more. You've seen my collection. You know I'm not going to stop.
No, you're not. That's very fair. To me, man, it's like I find that, how can I put this? Let me find the word. We, at this point of Pokemon Gen 3, had musical geography. Just every town was way more defined. The caves had their vibes. The routes had their vibes. The Pokemons had their world building music. We had the sound effects, like everything. Like we really had musical and sonic geography. And for a Game Boy Advance game, I find that to be extremely cool.
And then and then it really only increased from there. From Game Boy.
But that's for another podcast.
Yeah, that's for a whole other thing. But from Game Boy to DS to GameCube to the Switch, it just kept elevating. Like, and music, honestly, I believe it was last podcast I said this too. Music is still a majority of the sound you hear in Pokemon. Like, there's still the cries, there's still the sound effects, there's still everything else. But especially since there's no voice acting still, the biggest impact you get from sound is still the music. Like, even after Generation 9.
Yeah. Man, the legacy of the music in Pokemon, like, listen, you got people like me who's covered 56 songs. The music has been covered thousands of times because, like, the melody is timeless. Many of the themes remain, like, unchanged in modern Pokemon games, just remastered. And I know there's, like, officially released orchestrated versions performed worldwide. You got YouTube channels covering them, lo-fi remixes, and streamers constantly, like, using the music in the background. Pokemon music became generational for so many of us. It fits in so many different places. It fits in so many different genres. And I just find that, like, it must be one of the, like, most downloaded original soundtracks in the world.
Well, because Pokemon is the most successful franchise in the world. I believe it still holds that title.
I wouldn't be surprised. Like maybe just like on a wider point here, Hotshot. Like what is the legacy of the music in the Pokemon Game Boy games, specifically 1 through 3 for the generation? What does it mean to you, as a Pokemon fan?
As a Pokemon fan, it means where things got started. Like from the first song being the dun 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 dun, like, for that to be the first few beats of sound that you hear. And even if I didn't go back and play Pokemon as common as I do, and I do, that's those beats still stay with you. Like, the title beats stay with you, the Pokemon Center beats stay with you. Red's theme honestly stays with me. There is one very specific theme that stays with me, and I'm pretty sure the entire Pokemon community. Problem is, it's not till Gen 4.
Totally fair, man. What theme do you still, like, hum the most? Is it that opening theme for you?
I'd like to say that it is, but it's not. It's probably...
What is it?
It's probably Route 1. Oh,
yeah.
Like that.
That's ringtone vibes.
That's probably the one that I hum the most, at least. It's either that or like practically any of the anime openings.
Yeah,
the anime openings are a whole other beast. We might even talk about that later down the line. I don't want to promise anything, but maybe. But
maybe
it's a whole other thing. And
absolutely,
if you get into anime openings, especially, it's terrifying.
I want to do a quick side note here on the music of Pokemon. For, like, the covers I've done. The Pokemon theme cover I did was, like, one of the openings of, like, the 28 days in a row of Pokemon songs I covered back in February of 2022, and it's a really special cover for me because after going to Japan, I met an artist over there that makes, like, electronic techno dance type music in Japan, and I was like, yo, I would think it would be so cool to do, like, a cross-continental, like, collaboration. Like, I can throw you some, like, samples of what I've done, what I've released, like a few ideas, and pitching them back and forth. We landed on my Pokemon theme cover, and it was a drumless version that I did, and sending it his way. The artist is called Y Trip. We sent each other like ideas back and forth, and we ended up releasing like a remix version of my Pokemon opening with like samples and like a bunch of like trap drums. It's one of my coolest covers to date. I loved it, and it was like the Pokemon theme is really important to me because it was the first song that I did like across like from Canada to Japan. That was such a cool experience, man.
Nah, I can only imagine because like you've gotten to do a lot of cool stuff in the time frame that I've known you when it comes to music like that.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Damn. Off the top of your head, Hotshot, I just want to see as we like get into like final thoughts here, because like there's only so much to say about this.
Yeah.
Like
I get it.
Moments. Is there any other songs you can hum for the fans right now? Hey, we'll take it.
Okay, so
I kind of put you on the spot.
So you may not have. So I'm actually looking at your playlist. Funny enough, your cover playlist. You may or may not have the one that I am thinking of, and if you don't, I'm going to be greatly disappointed in you.
Oh well, I mean, it wouldn't be the first.
Well,
time
because it's linked to one very specific character.
Okay, well, you're like give me a shot here, dude. What are you doing to me?
Oh no, you definitely have it. You covered it.
What is it? Which one is it?
Cynthia.
Oh, of course. Yeah, that was one of the more recent ones, if I'm not mistaken.
Cynthia's Gen 4. She's Pearl, Diamond, and Platinum. Her theme is probably the most iconic champion theme out there because of how much PTSD is connected to this character. And the reason I say that is because she is few and far between the hardest gym challenge. Just period.
Really, eh?
She in the Pokemon community, she is accepted as the most difficult gym battle. And it is all because of her flippin' Garchomp.
Yeah.
Okay, no. I want to say it's all because of her Garchomp. It's not. It's a huge factor in it. But she is one of the most iconic champions out there in the entire franchise, and I believe she's the only champion to have that few notes of piano to start her battle theme. And it's so integrated in the Pokemon community's mind that when you hear those first two notes of the piano, that it's like, oh god. So her theme was actually a version of her theme anyway. Was used in Legends Arceus, like that is a more recent game, when in the very final battle, and it is so integrated that this character who honestly looks like Cynthia, and yes, I'm getting into spoiler territory, but Arceus has been out for a while, people. I don't care. The person looks like Cynthia, and when Cynthia's battle theme starts playing, everyone who I've seen stream it for the first time when that music starts, immediately their jaws drop and go, oh god, this is going to be a nightmare.
That theme is like, I remember when I was covering it, I was like, there's like this like boss, really badass, like fearful tone to it. Like that, like you're about to step up against one of the greatest.
And it is
that's what it felt like.
It is one of the most beautiful themes too, in my eyes. It is still one of my personal favorites.
Fair, very fair, very fair, very, very, very fair. All right, for me, Hotshot, like, just my final thoughts are: this music, these compositions are timeless, and it's one of the few animes, games, that the music it's not background; it's the heart of the game. It's what you remember the most from me, in my opinion. The Game Boy Pokemon themes. They are limitless with their imagination, the way they were composed. And I am so glad we got to, like, probably unlock a lot of core memories for a lot of people on this episode. What are your thoughts, Hotshot? Your final thoughts on this?
My thought is I want to play Pokemon.
Right?
Like, it's so I know I've said this point like twice before already, but I really do mean it. It's it's a massive heart of the game because it's what you hear in the game. And like the music having your full attention to what you can hear, except for very specific circumstances, like when you meet a wild Pokemon for the first time, or when you're catching something. Like, most of Pokemon is walking. You're mostly walking through the routes and navigating and catching everything, but the most of everything you hear is the musical scores in these certain locations, and that's why it sticks with you so much, because that's what's around. Hardly anyone remembers like the actual perfect layout of like Route 1 or Lavender Town or Pewter City or anything like that, but you remember the musical scores from there because they're just that damn good, and two, because that's what's really keeping your attention.
Absolutely. Like, man, what a great topic, Hotshot. I'm really glad we got together on this one and we collaborated on this. More episodes to come with Hotshot. I'm gonna rope him back in somehow, people. He's a favorite. He's a fan favorite, and I'm the fan.
Oh God, my fans need to start paying me then.
All right. A big thank you to everyone for listening to the episode. Make sure to subscribe to JaianMusic Notes in your favorite podcatcher. Use code JaianMusic over at Laser Audio Technologies. If you want to buy yourself some plugins for your music. And if you're someone who likes anime music, check out my covers. JaianMusic.com is my website. The artwork for the show is by GoPro Kyo. Hotshot, where can people find you?
You guys can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/HotshotGinger. I play many things, including Pokemon. One of my favorite things to play is Pokemon Infinite Fusion, so join me sometime. You guys can also find me on Project Shuriken on YouTube, where I am doing a Naruto abridged with our good friend GoPro Kyo.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Hotshot, for taking the time. Thank you, everyone, for this year on JaianMusic Notes. It's been so much fun, like I said on the last episode. And I will see you on the next one. Goodbye.
I'll see you later. I'm going to go catch them all.
Yeah, peace.